Hello, Nolan Patrick.
How's it going?
Good. How are you?
To see you.
How are you today? Are you sick of us yet?
No, it's always nice to see you guys.
How you feeling? So happy for you that you got to be able to do everything.
Yeah,
It's
thank you
awesome.
very much. I appreciate it. I'm feeling a lot better now than I was 20 minutes ago.
I saw you wander behind the curtains after Wingate. You all right?
I was in there for a while.
Yeah.
The breakfast didn't stay down, so it was.
We got one.
It was a tough one, but
Yeah.
I was happy to do it all, and that was obviously the worst one, but it was a good experience.
But to Sam's point, like this is a great time for Nolan Patrick because concerned. Oh, the injuries this year, but cleared to do all of it. Like that's got to be a pretty good feeling for you.
Yeah, for sure. I wanted to do all the testing here, and I think I'm still a tiny bit away from 100%. But for me, I wanted to come here, and I wanted to do everything I could and try to do the best of my ability. So I was happy I got to do it, and I really enjoyed the experience here. It was fun meeting some new guys, and I had a blast.
You ever have to just kind of take time, take a breath, and say, this is like a once-in-a-lifetime thing. I'm just going to embrace the heck out of it, whatever it has to offer, be it my roommate or throwing up or hanging out with the guys or hanging out. Do you ever have to pinch yourself and say, hang on a second, I just need to kind of take this all in?
Well, most of the time in the fitness testing, I was trying to catch my breath. I think I did. I did 7 or 8 5-10 5s there because I wasn't touching the line. So I don't know if I was thinking this is a one-time experience. I was thinking, when am I going to get out? When am I going to get out of here? But looking back on it, it's nice when you're done. And I think I tested pretty well. And I didn't cheat myself on anything. I tried to do as well as I could. So
we talked a lot about looking at the entire body of work of Nolan Patrick and not just looking at one chunk of a season here and there. We talked about we talked a lot about your entire time in the Western Hockey League with the Brandon Wheat Kings. Focus a lot on the 30 goals, 16-year-old, 100 points afterwards. When you look back on your time in Brandon, let's say you turn pro and NHLer, boom, next year. When you look back on what you did in Brandon, what's going to stand out for you?
I don't know if it's going to be so much what I did. I think it's going to be, the teammates that I played with. In my rookie year, I came in and was lucky enough to play on, a really good team. And there's guys like Ivan Provorov on that team. And, I was lucky to play on a line with Morgan Klimchuk. And, he kind of took me under his wing when I was super young there. And, he was an awesome guy. And, I think he's going to, have a great career. So it was more just the guys, and then winning in my 17-year-old season was a blast. I think we had a really strong team that year, and
playoff MVP. That's pretty nice.
Yeah, that was obviously a nice bonus, but that's fun for about 5 minutes there, and then you're celebrating with your team. So that's kind of the most important thing. But I think whenever you're playing on a team with Ivan Provorov running the back end, I think you're going to succeed. And, he's a dominant player.
So you want to go to Philadelphia then, is what you're saying?
No,
John Quenneville in New Jersey.
John Quenneville. I think he led the playoffs in goals in my 17-year-old year. So they were, they're both awesome guys, and at the end of the day, I'd be honored to go anywhere. So.
How about Kelly McCrimmon? Have you had the opportunity to speak with him now, with the Las Vegas Golden Knights? And I'm sure there's some conversations about them moving up. Have you talked to Kelly at all, and what's he up to?
Yeah, I had a little chat with him just at lunch at one of the days here, and then we were exchanging text messages last night. And he's we were joking around because I was trying to get him to tell me a few things about where they have guys ranked.
Nice.
And he's going, I'll be fired if I ever told you those things. So we had a really good relationship when I played in Brandon, and he was one of the best guys for me in my career. Coming in when I was 60, and he made me work for my ice time, and then he pushed me to succeed. And he was an awesome coach, and I think he's going to do nothing but good things in Las Vegas.
We talked to Cody Glass about you a little bit, and you overlapped a little bit at various scrimmages, and he kind of said, I sort of walked in Nolan Patrick's, footsteps going back to really young when you really popped big in Manitoba. How special was it? This is your second draft because it's your bantam draft selected by the Brandon Wheat Kings. How special was that, the Manitoba boy and the Manitoba team?
Yeah, that was really exciting. I think that's where it's tough to say, but that's where I wanted to end up. And it was only 2 hours away from home, and to be able to play where my dad played was, that was pretty special for me. And I knew Kelly McCrimmon was an unbelievable coach and a really good general manager, so I knew he would have a great program there. And so when I was drafted there, that was a really special day for me and my family, and I had a great experience there so far.
Really quick, just looking at Stuart Skinner here of Lethbridge, netminder. Who's the toughest netminder you faced in the Western League?
In my whole career or this year?
Your choice.
I'll give you both. My whole career, I was tough to score on Landon Bow. He was, he was a big guy, and he took up a lot of the net. And Suey was one of the guys, and then I remember at the prospect game he was chirping me a bit because I never scored on him. So then I think it was the next 2 games we played Lethbridge. I scored on both games on him. So
you give it to him pretty good?
Yeah, I was chirping him during the
Nice.
game about that. So it was funny. But I think Ian Scott's a good goalie too.
Yep.
And he did a great job in PA this year. He's a tough guy to get by. So there's I think there's some really good goalies in the draft this year, and it should be fun to see who goes where.
Are you looking forward to getting into Nashville and having that experience and doing that tour?
Yeah, I'm really excited for that. I've heard nothing but good things to say about Nashville, and just watching those games on TV, that rink's electric. So it should be fun to go there, and I'm excited.
Did you watch
Country
a lot?
music guy?
No, I hate country music. It's the only kind of music I hate. So I've been getting grilled on social media for not liking pizza and hating country music. So.
Man, you don't like pizza either?
No. No.
Holy, the most
know what you're
interesting man in the draft.
Yeah,
Doesn't
I
like pizza.
I did an interview for Sportsnet during the year, right up, and I guess one of my buddies who got asked told them I don't like pizza. So
So they asked?
So they tweeted that out. The next thing people are tweeting at me saying
Pizza.
I wouldn't draft Nolan Patrick in the 6th round. He doesn't like pizza and stuff like that. So it's pretty funny to see.
Okay, not going to Chicago. Got it. All right, very good. We know where Nolan Patrick's not going. What do you think the 23rd is going to be like for you?
Yeah, I think it's hopefully it's gonna be one of the best days of my life. I think my family and my friends are really excited. I got a few buddies coming down with me for that, and it should be a really fun day. So I've been looking forward to a while, and it's it's coming quick. I'll be going to Nashville and then going home, and it'll be about a week and a half, and then I'll be back there. So.
Hockey family. I mean, dad and your uncle. I mean, how much of an advantage? We talked about this earlier, Sam and I. How much of an advantage do you think you have because you grew up in a hockey family?
Yeah, I think for the advice that they gave me has been huge. I think that's probably the biggest advantage. I think at the end of the day, though, if you don't want to work hard, your parents aren't gonna force you to do that. So for me, I've loved the game, and I've always pushed myself. But my dad's been big on the mental side of things for me. He's always keep me positive and stuff like that. And my uncle is he's still up to date with the game today, and he just got out of a coaching job, so he gave me a lot of advice with on-ice stuff, and he put some clips together last year for me to improve on. So they've both been huge for me.
What do you think in terms of Jeff? But in terms of your on ice, I mean, when we talked the other day, I think it's my smarts that's going to allow me to play in the National Hockey League next year. But if you saw a deficiency in your own game somewhere, where would it be?
I think my agility and my foot speed, that's kind of something that I've been working on the last couple of years to improve. I think my skating's good when I'm going, but I think from a standstill and jumping into holes and pivoting out, that's something that I need to work on. And that's kind of something that I've been, working with my skills coach the last couple of summers. And, he's been huge on helping me improve with that. His name's JP Vijay. He was in Atlanta for 3 years playing there. So he's he's been big for me, and, he's an awesome guy off the ice too. So, I'm supported by some pretty good people.
You happy you'll never have to see that again?
Yeah, I don't. I would never wish that upon my worst enemy. So,
So Darren Millard, who's from Manitoba, Brandon, presented you with a couple of sticks.
Yeah.
The other day. What'd you think when you saw your dad's old hockey stick from Brandon?
Well, I thought he put up some decent numbers with that thing. I don't think I could put up 2 goals a year in the Western League with that stick.
Have you ever? Hang on, here's something always interesting for young hockey. Have you ever played with a wood stick?
Yeah, the first stick I used when I was younger was wood. It was a yellow TPS stick. I think my dad bought 8 of them for $80. So I was using those. I was using those when I was younger, and then when I was 6, I remember I got my first composite 2-piece stick.
That was it, eh?
It was a Z-bubble 2-piece with a wooden blade in it, so I still remember that. But it's impressive what those guys did back then with those sticks, and it's crazy how much time's come. The sticks these days, they're so light, and I think that's why a lot of guys can rip the puck these days. And the things you can customize on your stick, it's almost unbelievable. You can make your blade sandpaper-like if you want, so it gets to a point where it's pretty crazy. But it's cool to see how much time's changed.
Do you spend much time? I mean, a lot of guys are fanatical about their sticks. I'm sure you've seen. Are you the same way?
I'm not too picky about my sticks, but I just don't like switching them. Like, I've used the same stick since I was 15, and the company just paints it to a different one, like to look like it's the new stick. So yeah, I've been using the same stick since I was 15 there, and I've used the same curve my whole life, and I've never switched it. So I like what I like, and I'm not a huge guy to be trying a bunch of different things. So.
Well, someone's going to like drafting you. Nolan, thanks. I know it's been a crazy few years with the Wheat Kings and a crazy draft year as well. I look forward to seeing you in Chicago on the 23rd. Best of luck. Enjoy not having to do Wingate again. Enjoy the rest of your weekend here in Buffalo.
All right, thank you very much, guys.
Yeah, thanks for all your time over the last couple of years. Great to have you. Thanks, Nolan.
Thanks, Nolan. Nolan Patrick of the Brandon Wheat Kings, our projected first overall draft pick.